Go.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Hey Mando, brought to you by the boys over here at Jedi Talk. I am your host, Brad Hughes, and today we got the full council here, and we're ready to talk some freaking Mando Chapter 19, The Convert. We are not in the garage today. We're in the Bat Cave. We got the bat signal going. To my left, the Red Rocket himself, Tom Oakery.
By the right of the council, by the will of the Force, I survived battle scars. But you guys will hear more about that on our next show. We will murder Kyle Constantino today because of his terrible thoughts on Mandalorian.
Yeah.
Episode 3 or Chapter 19, just like Bradley, the
Yeah.
Manly Hughes, stated just a second ago in the glimmering blue light in front of his Qui-Gon lightsaber.
Yeah.
Cal's in front of me, and in front of this man over here, Brad. What's his name?
His name is the man, the myth, the legend, Evan T. Boucher.
Hello there. For now it is. In less than 2 months it'll be Avant.
Ooh.
Yet again. But glorious day for Mando, man. Great episode. I finally went and saw Mando again. I haven't seen him for like a week, so that's a long time for me to not go on Batu and see a character.
Still haven't seen him yet.
I'm so sorry.
Don't go during this crowd. Spring break crowds
He's
are
here to
insane.
stay, so.
He is here
Pull
to
it
stay.
back a little bit. You're like blowing it
Yeah.
out. Perfect.
Whoa, I'm blowing it. Whoa.
You're blowing it. Get it out of your mouth.
It's
He's
out of
used
there.
to blowing shit.
Let's talk about how awesome this episode
By the
was,
way,
though.
Ben Solo's lightsaber's in
Yes,
front of
yes.
Evan.
Why are you only coming through my right?
I don't know. I really don't know.
Is
I
it
got
coming
both
through
ears.
on yours?
Yeah, I got both ears
I've
going.
got both.
Yep.
I can hear both.
Maybe it's just these shitty headphones.
Could be.
They're
Yeah, I got
old.
both ears going.
Okay, never mind. As long as you can hear yourself,
Loud and
that's
proud.
fine with me.
Absolutely
As long
can,
as we're good, we're good. Okay,
We're
we're gonna do what we always do on this on this version of the show. We're gonna go through and give our spoiler-free thoughts first from this episode, and then we're gonna eviscerate Kyle Cosentino, and then we're gonna talk about the rest of the spoiler talk at the end of the show. So if you're listening right now and you haven't watched the episode yet, I don't know why you're listening to this, but if you just happen to be, my spoiler-free thoughts for this episode was, in a lot of ways, this was the best episode ever of The Mandalorian. Hear me out.
Ooh.
It's not the best content of The Mandalorian, but it is hands down the most singular episode that has ever explored the world at large that this is taking
The era
place
that
in.
it takes place in.
The
Yeah.
era.
Yep.
I'm not saying it's the best episode as far as what you get on screen, but
True.
this expands the New Republic. It expands what happened to the Empire,
There's so
how the
much-
rest of the galaxy feels
Yeah.
about the Empire. There's so much in this.
So much
and-
connective tissue. That's
Yeah.
what I love about it.
Me too. It brings back Dr. Pershing.
Yeah. Which,
you
like,
get to see
this-
Coruscant and a whole different
Yeah.
side of things. You get to see all kinds of crazy stuff in this episode. We're staying spoiler free right now.
Yeah,
but-
none of those are spoilers. It's all in the trailer.
Yeah.
So-
So it was very good to see that. I don't think it's the best episode of Mandalorian by far. Not in my top 10 probably even, but it was a good episode for expanding the lore of this time period.
There's only been 19 episodes, so this
Yeah.
isn't your top 10?
No.
Whoa. It's
Oh,
definitely in my top
interesting,
10.
yeah.
It's definitely in my top 10.
This might be a top 10.
It might be.
Yeah,
of the
we're not
19.
talking like Clone Wars where there's
We should-
500 episodes. We're
We
talking
should rank
19.
all, what it'll be, 24 of them by the time
By the
it's
end
over.
of season 3 of
Yeah.
24.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Top 10 you know what? It might make it in there.
I think it will.
It might. I'm trying to think of season 1.
Like, it's better than Sorgan, The Sanctuary,
all
obviously.
season. Yeah, that's true. It might
It's-
be in my
It's
top
better
10.
than the first episode of this season. It's like there's at least 2 that's much better than.
When Ahsoka shows up next week, it might not be
Dave
better than
Filoni's
that.
back.
He is writing next week's episode.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
wasn't familiar with the director for this
Did-
episode.
I-
Were you
Neither
guys?
was I.
No.
I don't know who that
I saw
person
Rick
is.
Famuyiwa's name was attached somewhere, but it wasn't.
Producer.
He's an
He was
executive
producer?
producer like
Okay.
they all are.
I didn't even pay attention to the director, but they killed it. Whoever they were.
Yeah,
They killed
I
it.
forget the gentleman's name, but
Something with Lee in the name, was it?
Yeah, something.
I can't remember, honestly. I feel terrible, but
it was
they
Tommy
killed
Lee.
it. Tommy Lee Jones.
Tommy Lee Jones.
Two-Face himself.
The best Two-Face of all time. I was trying to see if Tom would. You like hold on.
No, I'm not going to fight that hard. Because the only one we had was
Aaron
Aaron
Knight.
Eckhart, which is good, but
We didn't get him
Two-Face.
for... We had him for 20 minutes.
Two-Face could be done better.
Two-Face.
It would have been nice to have him for
Two-Face.
more than 20 minutes.
We also have the Lando version in the Michael Keaton Batman. He's
Billy D.
Billy D.
He
I
is
forgot
Harvey
he
Dent.
played him.
He's Harvey
yeah.
Dent, yeah.
He's Harvey Dent for a hot minute,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and then he's
Dang.
not.
Then he's not.
Because they never go back to that.
Yeah, which they were setting that up for the third, right? for sure.
Oh, for
the-
Tim Burton,
yeah.
I was definitely going to use him for something.
I mean, didn't they use him eventually? It just wasn't.
Yeah,
Tim
Tommy
Burton.
Lee Jones
Tommy Jones was him, right? So
yeah,
if,
but
if it had been continued in the way that it was intended to, it would have been.
that was the
Billy Dee
Schumacher
Williams.
BS.
Right. Those
Man.
movies are fun.
They're fun,
They're of
but
the
they're not
time.
great.
No, they're not.
Not great Batman movies.
They're of their time.
Yeah.
I like them a lot.
The one with
I don't take
with
them
Arnold
seriously.
Schwarzenegger in it, I'd never seen before until it was on in the break room this week.
Oh, dude, it's
and I was
brutal.
like, "This
It's
is
not good.
one of the worst things I've ever seen."
It's so fun though.
Do you see the Bane
If
in
you
that?
I don't know if it was.
Dude, it is. If you just
I
go
wasn't
in
having
and go
fun.
like, "This is retarded,"
I was embarrassed for everyone involved.
Which
Come on,
multiverse is this? I need to
chill.
know which one I need to hate.
Yeah, and then Bane just going.
Yeah,
I'm
he's
like,
just a
what is-
puff up like Halloween costume.
Yeah. I'm
he
like,
was
this is
some
awful.
wrestler played him, right? I forget who. it
No,
was.
I don't think so.
I
Dwayne
thought
The
some
Rock
wrestler.
Johnson.
Oh,
played
did he?
him.
No, The Rock didn't play him.
I thought
Interesting.
So.
Anyway,
I'll look it up.
we're
Anyway,
getting
back
off
to
course.
Mando. Back to Mando.
Right.
What
Talk
were your
spoiler.
spoiler thoughts?
Spoiler. It was a good episode. It's exactly what we had kind of alluded to last week, and which I was talking to. I had gone a little bit further and said I thought this was going to be like a full Moff Gideon type of episode, but instead they deviated from that full story. You know, we started with I bathed in. Oh well, whoops. I
Well,
won't start there.
That's not a spoiler. So
No,
that was in the
but-
last chapter.
yeah,
but no spoilers.
We started somewhere and then we went elsewhere, and then we came back
We
to it.
took a little jaunt.
Yeah, and it's just to that. This is not a filler episode.
No.
Look, guys, this isn't spoiler either, but you want episode 9 to be better. This is how it's better.
Mm-hmm.
This is how
Robert
it's better.
Swenson and Michael Reed McKay. Isn't Robert Swenson a wrestler?
If he is, it's a name that's not familiar to me.
Antonio Diego.
Sure. Why not, you know?
But they were the suckiest bunch of sucks that ever sucked.
Maybe I'm misremembering.
That's all right.
That guy?
No, he's not a
Huh?
pro wrestler.
Okay.
That looks...
Well, you kids Franks and Beans over here. It's all good.
That's all right.
Me too.
Anyway, sorry.
Well, we knew about you.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that was triply confirmed today,
Hey,
so it's fine.
Hey, he's stupid, right?
A little bit. Any other
sorry.
spoiler-free thoughts?
I don't have any more spoilers.
No?
That's all.
No.
Let's dive
It's
in
funny
then.
that. Well, it's funny. Like
Oh, sorry.
we tried some recording earlier. Gonna break a little wall there, but like you said it, and it's something I said to Taylor watching the show that it felt. And we're not going to get into any discussion about Andor, but it felt a lot like Andor.
Yeah, it did.
Which is weird because, like I said, we're not getting into Andor. But mostly, I didn't like Andor. But I love the Andor feeling of this episode.
Yeah.
So it's a weird feeling.
I never had any
Fucking
issue with the
hypocrite.
with the
Right? I
aesthetic
am.
of Andor.
No,
I had
yeah.
no issue with the
Yeah. I
aesthetics.
know.
For me, it was just the boringness of the
But
story.
it felt
But
a
I
lot
agree
like
with
it
you. I
in
thought I had the same thought. And Holly goes, "Is this Andor?" And I was like,
yeah.
"No."
It felt a lot like
well,
it.
here's
which
why.
was nice.
It was this like small aspect of a larger picture, right?
Yes.
Andor was like these very small amount of people doing something kind of big, right? This
Mm-hmm.
is the same kind of thing. Dude's fallen from grace. He's going through this rehabilitation thing to
Yeah.
work his way into the New Republic. The Office even looked like the stuff in
yeah,
Andor.
a lot of the same looks.
A lot of same looks, but it's
Yeah.
on the same planet. Like, and it, I mean,
It really
how many,
is.
how many different fucking ways can you do an office environment in Star Wars? I mean,
Yeah.
like Jesus Christ.
It's going to be the
So-
same thing. It has to line up.
Yeah, it has to look right. It has to be accurate. It's on the same planet. So, like, I don't think it. I think the comparison to Andor is fair, but I think you have to go the Andor aesthetic because this episode didn't remind me anything of Andor.
The aesthetics, but it definitely felt like it in terms of like the character dynamics.
Oh, I disagree.
And like you said, the guy's story of falling from grace and working his way, like it's the same thing.
Yeah, but that
Rehabilitation.
went on for fucking ever, and
True.
you didn't care about that guy. Like, you already are invested in Dr. Pershing. Like,
True.
he's coming back, and you're like, okay, what? Because we knew he was coming back. We saw him in the trailer.
Yeah.
And so my whole point, the whole time I'm leading up to like seeing him for the first time, I was like, what are they going to do with this guy now?
Right.
Yeah.
Like, are they just going to make
Where
him a
does he go from
one-dimensional dingbat who's like a holdout for the Empire? I still can't tell if he's like all in or not.
Well, let's get into the spoilers and
Yeah,
let's talk
spoiler,
about that.
3, 2, 1, it's happening. So
Probably, yeah.
I think he's... Because we saw at the end, I can't remember her name, but I remember reading up on her, and I remember her from
The
season
communications officer.
2. Yeah, the
on
communications
Gideon's
officer. She
cruiser.
was frying his brain in the Mind Flayer.
That was wild. That was
yeah.
very Andor.
It's a trap. Okay, that was my
I
favorite part.
love
Okay,
that.
wasn't really my favorite part, but I loved it.
I love that. I love
And
that
they
he said
paused
it to
and
a,
looked at each other, and I was like,
and he said,
Huh?
didn't he say it to a Mon Cala?
yes. And that's why the Moncala like looked at him like, what? He's like, it's a trap.
Yeah. So I think
that thing up too. She cranked it up to like
That was
12.
messed
Oh
up.
yeah,
That was
because
really
I
messed
think
up.
she's trying to kill him because
But
Is
what's
what he
the
knows.
purpose?
they don't
That's what I
want.
want to know. What's her plan?
My guess is Moff is trying to get amnesty as well, and he's paying people to kill people who knows
Just
about like
cut
the
some
dark
loose
shit
ends.
that he did.
Yeah.
Like, because like New Republic's not going to give Moff Gideon amnesty for helping cloning.
But
Like,
why are they giving amnesty to anyone then? Like, if that's the whole
Because
point,
they see
you're-
purging as like they did Galen Erso. Like, hey, you were forced to build a Death
Right,
Star. It's
right.
not your fault.
So they're looking at it.
People
and
who
I
just
hate to
needed
make this
work.
comparison, but I think this is the most appropriate comparison. They're kind of looking at it: Hitler versus a guard at Auschwitz.
that's
where you're
actually
following-
exactly what that is.
You're following orders versus you're the one giving the orders.
yeah.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, because look at it. Like, this was the economy, and I'm going to talk more about this in our news episode, but there's something similar happening in Princess and the Scoundrel.
Interesting. Okay.
Where it's like they're figuring the economy out, and it's like when the empire topples, right? Like, people are out. No matter how you spin it, they're out of jobs.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
That's what these people who we saw. They're out of work. Like,
and that's why like
I think
Imperial
the-
credits mean nothing.
they're
now.
almost
It's
like refugees
making
to a
new
sense.
money.
I
making
love
New
that the
Republic
books
credits.
do that with the Imperial officers. Like
Yeah.
they make
Yes.
it's like it's a job. It's something that you do to make ends meet. It
Yes.
pays well.
Lost Stars did it amazingly.
Yes, that's the one that did it the best.
Yeah.
But I like that the books dive into that because you don't really think about it, and then when you're
Right.
confronted with that reality of like, there's soldiers like that.
Like,
There's
and,
soldiers that
like-
like do it because it's a living. They get,
Mhm.
you know, you can retire at 40 or whatever it is in the military. Like it's a realistic, decent way to make an honest living. I
Like-
mean, honest. It depends on what you're doing.
Like Family Guy and Robot Chicken always make jokes about like, hey, I had friends on that Death Star, man. But like
Yeah.
when you read Lost Stars, they talk about how they have friends
Yeah.
on the Death Star, and like it's a joke in Robot Chicken. But like when you read that
In-
book, it's like, whoa.
Princess and the Scoundrel, a woman was accosting Leia because her son was on the Death Star and due for a promotion.
Oh yeah, see, that's the kind of stuff.
On the
That's
Hellsing, by the way.
Oh my
Oh,
gosh,
really?
yeah.
What
yeah.
do you know? Where can we go stand in that spot and cry?
Atrium, somewhere in the
In the
atrium.
atrium.
This is where Leia got yelled at. We're such dorks.
Yep.
There's actually a door that
It's
Han.
like a selfie of us. And
Actually-
Leia was right here.
actually-
I swear.
There's a door
Page
that I
86.
want to. There's a door that I want the three of us to take a selfie in front of. It's a crew only door that Han goes through to play Sabak and like.
Oh, we're doing it. We're doing
We're
it.
like. Oh no! He plays Sabak in the engineering room. He goes to this crew only area to the escape pods to scare somebody. So
That's hilarious.
Okay.
yeah, we have to take the selfie there.
Yeah, and I definitely want to
Is
picture.
it actually there?
I think so.
Oh, it definitely is.
When they like
I've learned about
mentioned it, I'm
details,
like,
too.
oh, actually, yeah, I know exactly where that's at.
That's
And do you know
hilarious.
about the lightsaber marks from Asajj and Anakin?
Not yet, but I'm planning on learning about that.
Okay, we need to find. I'll show you those.
I don't
Okay.
remember. I didn't see those.
But we definitely got to get a picture with our sick backpacks, like just all being like, "I'll send you to man." And-
Yes.
Yeah.
All right.
We
Anyway,
should
back
bring
to
a
Mando.
Sabak deck and put pictures of us holding Sabak cards in front of that door that he did
Yeah.
that with.
Yeah. Exactly.
There you go.
That'd be
Let,
fun.
us start. I mean,
What-
that was
what
good
hand did he
purging
win
stuff,
when?
but it's
Um,
probably straight Sabak.
full Sabak.
Or, yeah, full Sabak.
Full Sabak.
We can do it.
Always.
Okay. Yeah.
Let's start from the beginning and just go through. 'cause
Let's
that
do it.
purging
Do you have
stuff
notes?
is
Because
great.
I only
but-
got a chance to watch it
I
once.
don't.
I've
I
only
was
watched
only
it
able to
once.
watch
It
it
was an
once. I was
hour
getting
long.
I would say
jabbed with
finally
needles.
an hour-long
Long.
Mando episode.
Give us more of that.
Finally,
Yes.
it is like Andor.
There was nothing out of that I would have cut.
is.
I would not cut a minute from that whole episode. Like,
no.
what
I
would you
agree.
cut? There's nothing.
I agree.
So we start with.
I had one nitpicky problem, and this doesn't ruin
What is it?
anything. But like when they rolled off the train, there was like casually a pad there.
True.
Yeah.
Like, come on.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, it was a setup, so she had it all set up, and
Oh.
she knew
Oh,
exactly
all right.
where
True,
what
true.
she
That's
was
fair.
doing.
That's
I didn't
fair.
think about that. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Yeah, but I kind of thought the same thing. So we open with Bo and Mando and Grogu and R5 in Bo-Katan's Fang Fighter flying back from Mandalore.
I really like that ship design.
Yeah,
The
been
more I see
around
it, the more
since
I like
Clone
it.
Wars and Rebels. That's a
Yeah.
dope design of a ship. Me too. Like it's growing on me. The more I
Yeah,
see it,
it's
the more I
growing on
like
me, too.
it.
First time I saw it, it looked like a Battlestar Galactica or something.
Yeah, a little bit.
And
It's just the way it moves, the way like the
Yeah.
wings fold up and like tilt and stuff. So they're just flying back from Mandalore, and then they get chased by these TIE interceptors when they get back to Bo-Katan's planet. Right? Is that how
Yep.
it goes down?
Mhm.
There's like 5 or 6 of them.
So it starts off with them leaving the mines. Did you say that?
No, okay, so I didn't say
No,
that part.
It
Yeah,
starts
yeah.
off with them
Yeah,
leaving
they were
the
the
mines.
mines.
Like they say that he fell in and
Oh yeah, he wakes up.
He wakes
Yeah.
up. He gets
Oh
a
yeah, and she
sam-
questions. She's
yeah.
like, "Did you see anything?"
You
He's
see
like,
anything?
"No,"
And so she knows what's down there.
and he doesn't.
So that's going to come
And
into
this
play
comes
at
back
some
at the end
point.
of the episode, and she's keeping this from Din and from everyone.
Yeah.
So,
So
yeah, then they get back to the ship.
that could be a way to be the ruler of Mandalore without having the.
If you can ride a
Darksaber.
mythosaur, claim that.
That's exactly what I think is going to happen because last week's recap had the armorer telling that exactly to
Yep.
Mando.
She's like, legend foretells of
Yeah.
the mythosaur. Like, yeah.
that they tamed it.
So
That's why Bo's like, oh, he doesn't know it's theirs?
And she didn't believe it existed at all.
Yeah.
But now that's why it's called the covert, because we had Mando being a covert earlier in seasons like 1 and 2.
Convert. Wasn't it convert?
Yeah, not covert. That's the Mandalorian sect. Is the covert.
Covenant.
Yeah. The Covenant. Halo now. But yeah, now it's like Mando was learning to take his helmet off and step away from that old way. But now it's like Bo-Katan getting forced back into the
Yeah.
old way. Keep your helmet on. It's weird. We'll get
So
to that at the end.
They take some water from the mines as proof because
Yes.
they talk about how they're going to know
In a little vial.
what the proof is.
Take back to the armorer, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Or is that at the end?
That was at the
That's
end.
at the end when they
Okay.
take it back to her.
Okay.
But that's their
Okay.
mission. Right now, the
Right.
mission is let's go back there.
So then they
Oh, that's right.
But they're
get back
getting
to the
chased.
ship, and
They just get up and,
Din is
and
like,
leave.
if you take me back to the starfighter, my N1 starfighter, I'll leave you alone. We're cool. We're done. So that's their mission. But
That's right.
as they're getting back to the starfighter, the TIE interceptors.
that's
come
right.
in.
Okay, and this was one of the coolest chases.
Yeah,
I
because they
really
just
liked
straight drop him.
Yeah.
and he jetpacks to the
Yeah.
the N1.
That was so cool.
That was great.
That was awesome.
Yep.
And then the cool fight, and then blah blah blah. They get away.
I thought Bo was going to run off with Grogu for a hot
Coulda
minute. I
happened.
thought she was going to be like,
Well,
that would have been.
But she wanted to go back to her house while it was
I
still
know.
standing.
And they, yeah.
Oh,
they-
yeah, it
and
got
they-
blowed up.
They bombed it with TIE
TIE
bombers.
bombers,
Came
a
in.
billion
That
of
was
TIE
fucking
bombers,
awesome.
too.
kaboom.
Which side nerd track here? Like, yes, Lego dropped that TIE bomber for the 40th of Return of the Jedi, even though the bomber's not even in
It's
the
an
movie.
Empire Strikes Back.
Yeah, this is why they really dropped it, because it's going to be in Mando season 3.
God, what a
And
waste.
That's why they dropped it. So glad I bought
you
it.
farted. It sounded like you
I
farted.
wish. Let me record that for them. There you go. Now it's on the show.
Fart in.
But, yeah, so that's why Lego really did that, not Return of the Jedi. Now the truth is out. But so they evade the
child.
interceptors. We all are. Look at
You're
look at
like-
us. Look at us.
Oh, he's going to be
that-
out here
The
Easter
fact that-
weekend.
the
That's
fact that
like
anyone
officially
takes this show
happening.
seriously is beyond me.
Yeah, I
Hey,
know.
we are the most serious Star Wars show. Remember?
We're triple
Remember?
digits every week.
Did I ever tell you the story about the time
YouTube
I got
comment,
a YouTube
right?
comment?
Yeah,
and
you
a guy
told
was
us.
like, "You guys don't take anything seriously." It's like, the fuck do you want? We're talking about wizards in space. I'm
How
sorry.
long ago was
Yeah.
this?
Oh, this was before you were.
Okay.
born.
Yeah,
This
but
was
you,
years
you told
ago.
us the story
Wow,
like 2
you
months
guys
ago.
got a lot worse than
Yeah.
this.
I think I may have been by myself at the time
I think so.
when I was doing it by myself for a short period. And
Well,
he was
there's a
like,
lot of
"You-"
parts of your life you were by yourself.
It's true. There's a lot of that. It's a lot of sadness.
Man.
Those were the dark times
The duck.
Before the Tom.
before the Tom
got
and the
mail.
Evan.
Oh, shit.
So they
So-
they evade the TIE interceptors, and Bo's like, "Let's go back to my castle, whatever." And then, like, as they do, TIE bombers blow it all to hell. So no more Bo's castle.
Yeah, rest in peace.
And she's like trying to take them on, and Din's like, "We got to get out of here. We can't take these on." So they
Yeah. Because there's a whole there's like much more of a bigger fleet.
and
coming
she's
along,
like,
yeah.
she says something about like, "This is too big for an Imperial warlord." So it's somebody bigger than that.
I think it's Moff Gideon.
I mean, who knows? Because
I
like
100% think
at the
it is.
beginning of the season, they just said, "Hey, he's in like rehab. He's locked up." But later in this episode,
Does it-
maybe that's some propaganda.
I think it's nonsense. I'm telling you, man, they're not
Yeah.
they're not locking that dude up.
No.
They're not locking that dude up.
So-
He's at the very least pulling the strings.
They're probably going
or-
to blame Cara Dune on his escape.
Probably.
Cara Dune accidentally let him escape. That would be hilarious.
That'd be kind of funny.
And she
But
was
awful.
executed on site, is what they're going to do.
Yeah. She had to go back to her home planet.
It's too late.
That's so funny. That'd be hilarious.
I think somewhere in this sequence, when all three of them are on Bo's ship together, and maybe this was at the end of the episode, I can't remember, when Mando says, "This is the way," and then Bo-Katan says, "This is the way." Did you notice Grogu?
No.
No.
He gives 3 squeaks that are like his attempt at saying, "This is the way."
Oh, that's
Oh,
adorable.
funny.
I need to go back and rewatch
It's not.
this.
I wanna
It's
watch
not
it
very
again with
close,
Courtney.
but you can
Maybe
tell
not.
they did it on
I
purpose.
watched it. It's like 8 o'clock this morning. It was pretty early.
I thought you watched it.
Oh, I
3.
watched it
You
at like
texted me.
7.
I was up. I was
Yeah.
trying to stay up, but I couldn't do it.
It's. I don't think
I
we're at
couldn't
that
do it.
point right now.
No,
Yeah.
it's not.
This
that
one
good.
would have
Yeah.
been worth it, I think.
Nah.
No.
No,
No.
no.
Man.
Luke didn't happen. If like Luke happened, then yeah. but
Yeah. Hindsight though.
Not now.
We wouldn't have known.
It's true.
So then, so they take off and TIE
I got
interceptor.
burned with Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Yeah. So there's more TIE interceptors too, and of course the TIE bombers, but they don't have hyperspace capabilities, so they can't. They can't chase them. So then after this, we jump to Coruscant. Not with those characters. It just we as an audience jump to Coruscant.
This was my favorite part of the episode. Him giving the speech about like
in
hey,
the
man,
chamber
the
the Darth Plagueis speech happens in Revenge of the Sith.
Yep,
Come
they're
on.
all there.
They're all
The
there.
New
Yeah.
Republic.
And
And you get
that's
to
not
see-
really fan service because like that's a
It's the
place where you
same
would
fucking
hold
thing.
hold a
It's
speech.
the Senate.
Yeah, you would. No, it's not the Senate.
Or it's like a senatorial chamber, right?
Well,
No.
it's like
You're
a-
right. That was where
it's
it
like
was
a
the
theater.
performance theater.
Yeah, it's like a giant theater.
Yeah.
So like
It's like
you
an
would
arena.
hold a big speech here.
It's like a
so
big
it's
arena.
his speech.
Yeah, I don't know why I thought it was a Senate. What the fuck am I talking about?
And he's
But-
in there basically talking like we said earlier, like, hey, I had to do this. It was my job.
It was my
but
job.
We
There's
can use
practical
genetics and
applications.
cloning. Yeah.
And they're like, that's cute. We're not doing that shit.
Yeah.
Get the fuck out
And
of
then
here.
all these like senators at the
delete
end
some
are just
files.
like, yeah.
Yeah.
Did you guys know the New Republic was this big at this point?
Well, it was.
Yes. On Coruscant, yes.
Yeah.
But in the outer, like the core worlds, they're pretty big. But in the outer rim, they don't exist. So like,
Because it's
Yeah.
it's basically just the Republic, right?
yeah, it's basically
And
just
I guess if it's going to be anywhere, it's going to be on Coruscant.
Yeah.
for now. Because eventually it's going to jump to Chandrilla, and then
I
it's
just
going
was
to jump to
surprised.
Hosnian.
I was just surprised because, like, I mean, when power falls in real life, there's a power vacuum,
Mhm.
and it just didn't seem like that could be rebuilt that quickly.
The new threat of Star Wars needs to take the fight back to Coruscant and destroy that planet.
Honestly, yeah.
That'd be wild.
Like they that's where they need to do it because like look at like what happened like as soon as the Empire fell, as like we're watching here. Now I know this is Mandalorian's like 9 ABY and like potentially 2 years have taken place, potentially.
I still don't buy that, but
So we're anywhere between 9 and 11 after Battle of Yavin here.
Never forget.
Never forget it. It could. Where the hell was I going with this point? Thanks a lot, Brad.
we need to burn Coruscant down.
Yes,
basically.
burn Coruscant
Oh,
down.
Epcot.
Yeah, the Epcot
Interventions.
music.
Yeah.
yeah, it
Beautiful.
got me going. They should just burn it down because like the New
And then
Republic was
rebuild the
just
same
like
shit
there.
again.
well, that's the thing. They're just like, oh, the war ended. Okay, like the New Republic is fat because the rich stay rich kind of thing. It's very real world.
And
Yeah.
this is like the only good thing Mon Mothma did post Empire. She
You
does a lot
watch
of
your
stuff good.
fucking mouth.
She does a lot of stuff great
she
until
got
the Empire falls.
she got Lysa Orion's father killed.
That's true.
Shut
See?
your trap.
See? That's what I'm saying. This is the only good thing she did. She's not good. But she
Sure.
decided to take the capital off of Coruscant. So that's why, like, that's a good start that she decided to do. But
God, I'm gonna rip into her so hard about selling her daughter. Oh, go on.
hey, yeah.
I'm gonna take
Good,
notes.
good
about
senators follow
my
orders, I
character.
guess.
That's true. They do.
Yeah.
They're all bought and paid for by big pharmaceutical companies. Those
Yeah.
pieces of shit. I forget who it was. I think it was Bill Hicks said all politicians should have to wear on their suit jacket. It should have the sponsors like
Yeah.
a NASCAR jacket.
Yes,
Exactly,
that'd be
they should.
hilarious.
Yeah, just
So you
like
know-
a
Sponsored
So you know
by
who-
tobacco.
So you know
Sponsored
who
by.
you know who bought and paid for those pieces of shit.
yep.
Texas
So after
did.
after Dr. Pershing's speech, he goes back to his like apartments, but it's like the step after a rehab center. What do they call it? I forget what they called it, but it's like
Halfway
Assisted
house?
living. Oh, halfway house.
yeah,
Yeah,
it's kind of like that. It's like okay, you went through rehab, assimilation, whatever, and this is your next step to getting back
They
into
all,
society.
they all made sure they pointed out that it was better than what the Empire had.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. How long until we get these little food things in Disneyland's Galaxy's Edge?
I want them right
Not
now.
here. Well, it won't be here.
Oh,
I
the
want them
yellow
now.
crackers or whatever.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yellow
The
cakes,
travel biscuits.
Travel
yeah,
biscuits.
Yellow
yellow
biscuits.
travel biscuits.
I like
We
the
better
red
get
ones
cake
they
better.
like the red
first.
ones too.
I like
but-
the red ones better.
So yeah, Disneyland will get those things. I think.
Yeah, for
I don't
sure.
think we will, but they're cool.
He's so salty.
It's true. I think they're probably salty. They're crackers.
Are we keeping Tron, Goofy, and Daisy?
No,
Yeah, I think so.
that's media. Come on, they had media
But
night.
I know, but it's there.
So
I
Dude, why
wanna
would
see
you
it.
not? You
I
have the
know.
stage.
why don't we have the X-wing drones and the X-wing pilots? And
Well, that was a very practical reason why we don't have those.
Permits
Okay.
over. It's
It's
a
not-
Florida.
Why don't we
thing.
have-
It's not only a Florida thing. There was like an hour time period where cast couldn't get to their car
yeah.
because it was backstage.
Oh.
and
It was
you had to have
over
a clear
the
zone.
parking
It was
lot.
over the parking lot.
Yeah.
Over the cast
Oh.
parking.
So that was a bad example. But
Yeah.
the characters of the X-wing
Yeah, that's not
pilots.
good.
Why don't we have
That
those?
was, dude. It was bad. I've had friends that were working that night, and
Yeah.
it took me an hour and a half to leave.
That's not good.
I'd be okay with it.
Not
You're
if you have a
one
kid.
in a million.
Yeah,
Yeah.
dude.
Yeah, that's
I
true.
wouldn't have been okay. I'd be like, get
Yeah.
me the fuck out of here.
Yeah, I would have been.
So that was a bad comparison. But like, why they had? I don't want
Those
them.
were fucking
I don't want
awesome.
them at all. But we had Star-Lord and Gamora for Guardians media. Why don't we have them?
That's true.
I think we can't.
we've had
We
Star
can.
Lord here, though.
Yes, we
Will.
can.
Oh, that's right. Because
We
they
had
did
Star-Lord
they
in
did the
Groot.
stage show
Yes.
thing.
Yeah.
That's right. I don't know.
The Guardians are like the
Based on
only
that.
characters we can have here.
Here's the difference, though.
And Doctor Strange.
Those are
Yeah.
very specific face characters
Yeah.
versus this being some dude you can throw into a fucking
That's a
goofy costume.
That's, another
That's
good
true.
point.
But with Doctor Strange, they don't care. They put dudes that don't look anything like him.
Did you ever see that
Strange.
Doctor Strange show that was at Hollywood Studios for like
Only
2
on
days?
YouTube. It was horrible.
Oh, I think I have a
No.
video of it up. Oh, dude, it was
yeah,
brutal.
it was bad.
It was. I was there the very first day they did it. They I think they only did like 5 or 6 shows of it.
They
It
gave
was-
up quick.
It was bad.
Welcome
Anyway,
to Jedi Talk. We started about Mandalorian, and now we're talking about
I know
this.
Yeah.
Welcome to the show.
Purple Monkey dishwasher.
We'll get back to Tron on our next show, probably.
Yeah, we will.
But,
Anyway,
so they're
back to-
talking about that. Those like 4 or 5 people at a table there, just drinking those little drinking pods too. Like, come on, give me those.
those. I think those exist already. I think that's like a thing in the real world.
Yeah, in the real world, but
Yeah.
like not on planet.
I
But
think it's like wine coolers. I think is
Basically,
what those
yeah,
are.
those
not
little,
like
like,
I think in
pods.
real life they're like
Yep.
Yeah, you can get
I've
them at
seen
like
them.
liquor stores. Yeah.
Yep.
But yeah, so they talk about, and then I knew from the jump this bitch was up to something. She's
Yeah,
had a
she
look
was-
about
she
her.
was obviously
I don't
sketchy.
trust trans women.
Oh, good
How do you know
lord.
she's trans?
But
Say,
I'm
I
kidding.
put
don't
it
know. I'm just
down
fucking
1
around.
second.
I'm kidding. I had
you
to keep- I had to
assuming
keep
her
Tom out, too.
transness?
There we go.
I forgot the
That's
trans
pretty good.
one.
That's pretty good. So she
yeah.
kind of takes Pershing under her wing and is like, "Look, like I don't think the New Republic's gonna be cool with you cloning, but do you want to keep cloning?" And he's like, "I think so. Let's find out." Basically,
Yeah, I need a lab. What do you need? I need these
a
parts.
mobile lab and this and this. And she's like, "I can help you get that if you want to. Let me know."
So they go on this is over a long period of time. We're kind of condensing it.
yeah, it's
but
an hour-long
okay.
episode, but
yeah, so they he goes through therapy a few times with the robot.
this weird robot.
He asks. He asks.
very
if-
creepy.
I like the robot.
She's
I think
always
it's a cool
like,
design.
"Have you felt any aggression towards the New Republic?"
Yeah,
He's like, "No, I'm good." He's like,
Yeah.
"Yeah, you have."
Found Doctor Strange on Hollywood
I
Studios.
think that might be my video. Is it not?
No, this is Attractions Magazine.
I was there the same day. It was back behind.
You would have to be because it lasted like a
It was-
day.
I,
so
I left work early to go see it because I was so
Oof.
curious. Because it was the first time
Sorry.
we had a Marvel character.
back
I
then
might-
I would
I
have
might-
been
He
excited.
looks so.
He didn't sound good.
No.
Back then I would have been excited too, so I don't blame you.
I was excited. Yeah. I was a brand new cast member at that time too. I think roughly less than a year. I think.
You're shiny.
But yeah, so they talk about it, and then he kind of, like I'm fine, everything's good. And then he asks like, what supersedes it? Is it like the greater good of the New Republic? And he uses that as like his justification to go.
He's
right.
kind of like, would it be okay if I continue my research for personal reasons?
And they said no.
And the droid's like, no.
That
you
is
can't.
forbidden
And
by
then-
section, subsection,
Paragraph,
blah,
whatever.
blah, blah, blah.
Like, yeah,
Fucking lawyer nerd.
basically, yeah.
And then he kind of asks when he goes back to it again at a different time in the show, and they have a similar conversation, and then he's like, "What's more important, the greater good of the New Republic, or like not doing that?" Does that I forget how he words it, but like basically he takes, do it as for the New Republic, takes that as like a go ahead and go
A
fucking
precedence to
And also, like when he's back in his office,
suspends it. Yeah.
his like higher up guy is telling him to delete all these files, and he's like, "But this is pretty useful info.
they're
Why
like,
are we
"Doesn't
deleting
matter.
it?" And he's
It's-
like, "Well, we're behind on our records, and like it's got to be for the greater good."
Well, no, they're saying like it's imperial, so we don't give a shit if it's
Yeah.
good or bad.
But it's like-
even if it's helpful, we don't fucking want
Yeah,
it.
Even though
he's
there's
like,
pictures
anything.
of Palpatine's beehole
so-
deleted.
My asshole is on fire.
somehow it returned.
Somehow my asshole is still burning.
That's okay. So what if we found out Pershing didn't delete that, and that's how we returned?
It's probably
That would be
it is.
crazy.
It's probably connected to that kind of stuff.
That would be nuts.
Yeah.
That would be really cool, actually.
We're getting all the stuff that we wanted in our top tens that we
Palpatine's
made before
asshole?
season 3.
Did you put
We're getting it.
Palpatine's butthole in your top 10?
It was an honorable mention. Honorable
Okay,
mention.
just checking,
Yeah.
Evan. Yeah.
If you think that's not going on the next top 10 list, you got another thing coming.
Yep.
Yeah.
Just Palpatine's ass. He's sending his fart in
Yeah.
to the show.
It's a lightning
Send in a
finger
fart
fart.
to Jedi talk.
So
I love that one. You can never play that without laughing.
I
Like,
know.
It's a perfect one
I
no
know.
matter when
It's
you
great.
use it.
so then he kind of goes and they kind of build this relationship during the show of like,
Oh yeah,
you
they
can
go
trust
they go
me.
to this place from the High Republic. Did you catch this?
I did not catch
They
it.
go to Umat, the only part of the planet's surface left on Coruscant.
I knew
That's
I
from
read
the
that
freaking High
somewhere.
Republic.
I knew that was familiar to me.
When this happened, I'm like, this is
Yes,
a great
okay.
episode. I was like, it's connecting the High Republic.
Dude,
I'm in.
I was like,
Hear that, Kyle?
when I was watching that, I was like, why do I know what that is? That scared the absolute shit out of me.
Surprise, mother.
Surprise, motherfucker.
I was like, why do I know what this is? And
Yeah.
now that you say that,
Yeah.
that's why I know what it is.
It's changed so much because it was like a religious thing in the High Republic.
Yeah.
But now it's like a carnival center.
Yeah.
Kind of like a public center.
A fair, if you will.
Yeah.
A Coruscant fair.
And did you hear the music
that was
in this
weird.
scene playing in the background?
I hated their popsicles. Hang on.
Oh, me too.
Hated
Glowing
their
glow
popsicles.
was
popsicles?
really
That was
horrible.
weird.
They looked so stupid.
Yeah.
Yes, it was the March,
March of the Resistance.
I did.
Man.
I picked that up.
This,
Yes.
Holly
this,
picked that
man,
out.
Yeah, it was beautiful. Like this tied in High Republic, prequels, originals, and sequels.
Yep.
Come on, and Mando, which is in between. Come
Little
on,
stupid filler episode.
come on, no way.
Kyle would go, wrong.
This scene alone was one of the best scenes, just because of all that.
That's Kyle.
Kyle button.
Yeah,
Kinda like- Everything's a Kyle.
That's
And then-
insulting to Lumpy.
and
It
then
is.
and then he's like, "Can I touch the planet surface there?" And she's like, "Yeah, go ahead." And then he goes to touch it, and a droid is like immediately on him, like, "Do not touch the rock."
Get your bitch ass away from that rock.
And
I'm
then he
like-
drops the popsicle. He's
I'm
like,
like,
please
yeah.
no littering.
Yeah.
And I'm like, "Huh?" I'm like, "It's guests at Disney. Love it."
It's what it
He's
felt
arrested,
like. It's
yeah.
what it felt like for sure.
But
So they
I
kind
love
of
that scene. That
they
was
kind of
great.
talk him into go doing the thing. They go on a train.
Yep.
They jump off into a very convenient thing, like you talked
Like
about
you said.
before.
They
But
did.
it would look like the same thing you see in Attack of the Clones when they're going
little
through
bit.
the
Yeah,
power
a
grid
little bit.
thing.
Yep.
I don't know if it's the same
Anakin,
thing.
how many times have I told you?
That part,
Stay
yeah.
away from power
Power
couplings.
couplings.
That was short.
They jump off and then they take a train and then they're like Thursday. Hated that.
Oh,
too.
they said two different names of a day.
Fuck out of here with that. I hate that shit.
Thursdays, right? Or Thursdays.
I forget the name of the day.
or,
And another day was like, it sounded like a holiday at first, but it was just another day. And I'm like, oh,
Ellis
hated
Island Day.
something like that.
I hated it. I thought it was dumb. I don't need that kind of stuff in Star Wars.
No.
Thursday. Well, now you got to tell me what the other days of the week
But
are.
that's-
And
that-
and I
is
don't
is there
want to
7
know.
days? How many days are in a week? Is
That's
it more?
the weird
Less?
shit that they're gonna do. It's like that's Star Wars. They're just gonna do it.
True.
Hate it.
Like in 2 years,
But
we're just
now I
gonna
feel
get
bad.
another random Jedi Rocks moment.
Oh god
Yeah.
damn it.
But now I feel bad for the cast members on the Halcyon, and they're gonna be like, "What day is it? Oh, today it's the Catherngus Day or whatever." Like, I'm gonna hate that. I feel bad for them.
Kathwapple.
But yeah.
I thought they said the same name twice because he was like, "We have to work on that." I thought he said Thursday.
Yeah,
both
they did on
times.
the train there, but in the office earlier, he's like, "Happy Blinkus
Oh,
Day."
no, really?
Yeah.
Okay, I
So
heard-
there's two different days they
This was a
mentioned.
very dense episode. I need
Yeah.
to go back and rewatch
Don't
it.
forget to
Yeah.
get your cake in the break room.
There was something they said that I did not like that was like too real world too, and I forget what it was. I'll have to go back
I
and watch
forget.
it. I'll bring it back next week. But so they get there.
They're
They go on
going
the train.
to the shipyards,
shipyard.
where they're tearing down the Star Destroyers.
Yeah. And she's like, "There's a full lab. Take whatever you need. I'll keep watch." He hears a thud, and he's like, "What's that?" She's like, "Oh, it's the ship
It's
settling."
just the ship
Yeah.
settling.
And dips out and is like, "I'll go protect you."
Yeah, I'll keep watch
Yeah.
just in case.
This bitch.
But then we get like he's got a cool story too, because he's like, I dedicated my whole life to this because my mom passed away. He's basically Anakin in a sense. He's like, my mom passed away
Right.
for some stupid reason that cloning could have
Oh
saved.
yeah, they
Yeah,
reference
the-
to Kaminoans.
Yeah, he's like, the Kaminoan technology could have saved her life.
Organ-
Kaminoan.
Kaminoan.
Just say it fast.
Kaminoan.
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 Yeah, if you say it fast, the better.
Not,
Kaminoan.
not Camino, just Kaminoan.
Camino. Camino. So that's,
And
yeah, I like
then
it.
they
I like the
get
story.
arrested. And
Well, do they? No.
yeah, she betrays him. You find out she's
Yeah.
been working with them the whole time. They're like, Dr. Pershing, get
Twist.
on your knees.
I'm not Shaman Twist.
And then they take him to like a punishment thing, and they're gonna just do like light lobotomies on this dude.
I said Mind Flayer. That's a Stranger Things thing.
Well, that's a name he uses,
That's what
though.
he
Like,
uses.
yeah, that's
Mind
a Star
Flayer.
Wars thing. He mentions it earlier in the episode, how he's like, the
Isn't that a Stranger
Empire.
Things thing too.
I don't think so. I've never seen it, so I don't know.
That would be wild if they both
Yeah.
had that name.
But he mentions it. He's
It
like,
might
the,
be.
the Empire would use mind
I don't know.
flayers
I
on
don't know
people
Stranger
and
Things
stuff.
like that. I watch it. I go, that was fun,
Yeah.
and then I move on with my life.
Yeah, so they
It's not Star Wars.
they strap him to this table that's a mind flayer, basically, and the not Akbar, of course, but why am I going stupid here?
Mon Cala.
The Mon Cala doctor guy is like, no, it's not. This is fine. Like, we've done this a million times. It's just gonna give you some bright lights, and you're
Did
gonna
we do
forget
Star
all
Wars
about
trivia
this.
and I just remembered this, or is that Monday?
The
No, it's next
21st.
Tuesday. Next Tuesday,
Next Tuesday. Okay.
we're going.
I just had the thought like, fuck, we missed it.
No,
We
I've
did.
been talking about it. Like, I've been hyping
Sick.
it up. Taylor's
Fuck
like,
yeah.
yeah, let's go.
Let's-
Let's
let's-
go. She wants to eat the food there. Like, yeah,
I love
Yeah.
World of Beer.
I've never been.
They
So
call
good.
the mind. They call this guy the Mind Flayer.
Oh, that's a thing in Stranger
Interesting.
Things.
Sure
Right.
is.
How is no one
Season two.
talking about this? Huh.
I don't know.
This is the hard
I
hitting
thought-
journalism we get on
okay.
Jedi Talk.
Yeah.
I thought Mind Flayer sounded weird to me. Like new,
You're right.
or
yeah,
like not
you're right.
new, but
I
like,
didn't
wait a
catch that
second.
at all.
Okay, interesting.
Look at you.
Yeah.
Fucking nerd.
Yep.
But this is when we get Dr. Pershing being like, she set me up, it was a trap or something. And then calamari is like, it's like, what'd you say?
Get out of here. Give me your brain. And then you see, she's like, can I stay and watch? I want to make sure.
Like-
Why would you leave her with the dial?
Well, she said, she's like, well, even though like I'm trying to
She used the
rehab him
Force.
here, like he is my friend. Like we're still friends.
Oh yeah, that's
I
right.
care about
and
him.
this is a New
She
Republic.
was
They're all like,
sneaky.
of
Yeah.
course you can.
They're all,
Yeah.
this is why you shouldn't
Because
have.
we all love each other. Everyone love everyone.
For
For the order.
For the order.
Winners
telling you.
and losers.
The Empire and the Order.
And then she cranks
It's
that
better.
motherfucker up to 12, and poor guy. So I'm going to be bummed out if this is his fate.
I don't think he's dead. I think he's just fried.
But he's going to be like messed
you,
up.
Can you
Yeah.
get that back? Is it temporary?
I don't know. You could probably get that.
I
back.
hope
the lights
not,
was cool
but-
on his face. Like, you're going to see some cool lights.
I hope not, but like it's Star Wars, so like he's fine.
I don't know, man.
I hope not, but like come on.
I mean,
Fennec Shan got robot guts, and Cobb Vanth was gonna get robot guts.
yeah, but that's
or
not your
whatever,
brain.
He's going to get a robot brain.
I mean, like Lobot, that figure there right behind you has a robot brain.
Maybe they
So,
lowbot him. That would actually
that-
be kind of cool.
I bet that's what happens.
What if that is Lobot?
Well, this is after,
This is after.
Oh yeah,
but there are, and Lobot's dead at this point.
that's true.
Rest in peace to Lobot.
Yeah, he sacrificed himself to save Mando.
Lobot's son, Lobet. Just trying to redeem myself.
Lebeth, his daughter.
Lobet.
Can't not wait to talk to her. She reached out to us too and was like, "What voyage are you gonna be on?" I was like, "This one." She's like, "I am there. I'll see you at 12:30."
yeah.
Like she's like,
Yeah.
"Come to my mixology class.
We're
I'll
gonna
be
do
there."
it. We're going to do it.
We'll
I
be
might
there.
not partake.
Oh, we're
But I
partaking.
will- I
Come
will
on.
go.
We're partaking.
Dude, I don't know if I want to spend $50 on that.
Oh my gosh! If
I
I'm doing
might.
it, come on.
I might just
I'm
drink
cheap.
Tom's
I'm
drinks.
doing it, and you no, no. I'm actually drinking on the Halcyons.
You
Me
are?
too.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, me too.
I did last time.
But you didn't like drink.
I didn't
No,
last
but
time, but I am this
when
time.
I drink, I don't drink.
I know.
Dude, I am this time.
Oh, I'm no fun, huh? I was higher than fucking sin. I smelled good Adderall up my ass on the Halcyon too. You want to know what I got up there? There was a fucking cocaine hippopotamus in our room that you didn't even fucking see. I was shoveling spice through that hippopotamus's ass over to Hoth, over to Tatooine. The 4 hours your ass slept a night, I was making
When you
credits
were- every
to
time
win the
you were in
money
the
back
shower?
Sabaki
I
lost
heard your
from.
teeth grinding
Yeah.
in your sleep.
Every time you were sleeping or showering,
Lighting those
that's what he
spoons
was
up.
doing.
I shower a
Those
lot.
wooden sporks.
Fucking weirdo.
Yeah, every
Yeah.
time he showered, it was time for me to get high.
Yep,
Spice.
man.
Come to room 5227.
5222
our
for
room.
me. So what if
was our
we're
room,
what if we're in the middle? 5225 this time. Would that be crazy?
It'd be weird.
Let's hope so. That was perfect timing for that. So you laid into Brad. Now it's time to lay into your boy
Who,
for his
Anakin?
thoughts. No, for his thoughts on this
Oh,
episode.
Kyle.
Oh, yeah. Lean into dipshit.
I haven't heard his thoughts, so
He's an idiot.
First off, so
Pull it
let
up-
me,
pull up
yeah,
a group
yeah.
chat. Pull up a
I'm
group
gonna
chat.
pull the group chat up. So as we talk about Fart
Leave out all
Boy
the
here.
things that shouldn't be in a group.
Yeah, I'm not gonna. Ooh, first off, Brad
you imagine
Hughes.
if
You know,
those got
Kyle.
out?
When I
Jesus
saw your,
Christ.
jeez.
well, it's all texts about his mom, of course.
Okay, so Brad just said this is the way, and then Kyle goes, "This is not the way. Today's episode sucked." And then we were like, "LOL, no, it didn't." Oh God, this felt like a leftover episode of Andor.
This felt like a leftover episode of Andor. See, boring.
So I said I knew someone would make that comparison. Makes sense. A puny brain like yours can't comprehend when they're furthering gaps in canon around the time period. It looked beautiful, just like Andor did. And he did his pathetic Trump impression and said wrong. Yeah, Brad, if you want to. Yeah. This episode was such a filler episode. And then Brad said, "This is not filler, dingbat. This expanded everything in this time period. For fuck's sake, we cannot get he said, for fuck's sake, we got a full episode on Coruscant." And I said, "Filler episodes? You're too stupid to be left alive." Kyle said, "Whatever expanded was not necessary. It was boring AF. An episode about the mythosaur taking a dump would have been better." I'm laughing at
It's
myself,
just-
making fun of him, not what he
It's
said.
just like a mythosaur taking a dump would have been 10 times
Yeah,
better.
yeah.
And I'm still salty
And then-
about Henry Cavill.
Brad, yeah, he is. And then Brad said, "Dude, they are cloning Force users, a.k.a. Snoke, you fucking hatwit. He's going to end up working for Palps. You're a fucking dipshit." And then he just sends back the Mr. Bean yawning. And I just said, "Kyle apparently loves Episode 9 without content." And then Kyle said, nobody here's what I wanted to respond to him specifically on the show about because he's so wrong. No one cares about Snoke because he went down like a bitch. Snoke did not go down like a bitch, and you should take offense to this, how Snoke died.
I do.
Because Kylo Ren hid his intentions from the Emperor, so to speak. Right? Or
What do you
did
know?
one of the top-
I'm letting you speak on
Yeah.
it. You know
Yeah.
exactly.
Snoke's probably one of the top 5 strongest Force users, just because he's basically the Emperor. So,
turned
if you can trick that,
that lightsaber while still focusing, making sure that
And
everybody
seeing
was
him do
paying
it and
attention.
had no idea
he
that
was lying
even-
to him without lying to
Yes.
him, because he's like, I am turning it to strike down my enemy. Yes, I
Yeah.
am.
You just
and it's
don't
not
see
this
that it's you.
lightsaber; it's that lightsaber.
Yep. You
Like
just
I
don't
am.
see that it's
like
you.
he was honest and lying at the same time.
Mhm.
It was genius.
Great writing.
Then I flipped
he's
off
the
and
supreme
mentioned-
liar.
That was about
And also, no one cares about Snoke. Shut the fuck up. Snoke was an underused character, but that doesn't make him a bad one.
agreed. Whoa.
That scared the shit out of me too.
Yeah, I
I
didn't
think they're
expect
gonna have
that.
like strokes.
Oh no! Are we tripping?
This is what he was
Maybe.
like doing the hippo.
This was what Dr. Pershing was experiencing right here.
Oh, yeah,
this is
you're
it. We're being, our minds are being flayed.
Mind
flayer.
All right, I'm just going to keep
Things.
it right there, yeah.
Is that
I
it
like
for that?
that. Like
Is that it for that? With
Yes.
Okay.
You know, I mean, it's like, this was not filler.
no,
No.
filler
This-
is the Ice Planet episode. That's filler.
Yeah.
When it
Frog
doesn't
lady.
advance the story at all. You're doing a menial task that doesn't have any
Chapter
outcome.
17.
Yeah,
That was-
yeah.
that was,
that was the definition. of
that
filler,
wasn't
'cause
filler. It was recap.
you-
That's what that was.
Yeah, it was a recap episode. I mean, the only episode I can think of that's full on filler was the Ice episode.
Kyle's
Yeah.
mad that he couldn't relate to Grogu on screen
Yeah, he didn't get
because
to see him
Grogu
enough.
wasn't on here that much.
Is he that dumb?
Well,
where he's
is
just
it
like,
just 'cause
I need
Grogu-
a baby puppet to feel happy.
Yep.
Is it because
He
Grogu's taller? Is that why?
Kyle.
Dude, you got owned by
Just-
Evan, son.
Evan is just like
Evan
picking
got
at you
your
in the
ass.
90s, dropping Stone Cold Stunners on your short ass.
All
That's
right,
all
let's
I got.
wrap this up because
So after the Dr. Pershing stuff, we go back to Mando and back to Bo.
Yeah.
So they go back to, I'll use it correctly now, the covert. And Paz Vizsla is still not okay with this. He's like, you're not accepted here, dude. Get out. And he's like, no, I went to Mandalore, bathed in the waters. Bo-Katan's my witness. Like, it happened. And he's like, okay, we'll see. So they go back to the armorer, and the armorer's like, let me see the proof. They pour the water in her little, like,
her cauldron.
cauldron, basically. She's now the witch, I guess. I don't know. And she's like, it's true. He has now been redeemed.
Do you think that was like she was testing for like mythosaur piss?
Yeah.
Probably.
Shit.
Or
How much I
worse.
get for this on the black market?
Why is there mythosaur cum in this water? The mines of Mandalore were ruined by the jizz of the mythosaur.
Hit a button.
Hey, Mando.
Okay, sure. So then
Mando.
the armorer's also like, so
That's what the Mythosaur said in the pool. Hey, Mando.
hey, Mando.
And then that's how he
Hey.
came, because it had been like 1,000 years.
It's hilarious.
And then the armorer's like, Bo-Katan, you also bathe in the waters. And Bo-Katan's like, yeah. And she's like, you're now redeemed too. This is the way. And Bo-Katan's like,
Sure.
this
Then
is.
Careless Whisper started playing.
She's like, this is creepy, but I guess this is the way. And then she's like, I'm now part of this cult, I guess. It's so
Yeah.
weird. She's in a bad spot. Like, what do you do in her spot?
Well,
mean,
the armor
it's
told her she
temporary.
could leave whenever she
Yeah,
wanted
it's
to.
temporary.
Yeah.
Well, that's what
but
they
where
all
do you
say.
go? Where's she got to go?
The Branch Davidian said that too, and they made
I know, yeah, but
drink
like,
Kool-Aid.
Yeah.
but Din was essentially cast out, and they didn't chase him. They just said you can't come back.
yeah.
Yeah. But like,
I
where
mean, all
she
has
has
to do
nowhere
with-
to go.
They're not going to be there long. I think
Maybe.
we still have one more thing from the trailers.
Oh, going back to Navarro, the drop,
Navarro
the
drop.
drops to Navarro.
Oh, yeah.
Mandalorian.
So
And
they're
we
gonna
still
go
have
fight the
damn
pirates.
It's going to be a
coming back,
pirate.
yeah.
I don't know, man. This is not shaping up to be what I wanted it to be for season 3. We're not. I mean, we
This
don't-
episode was though all the Coruscant
Well,
stuff.
I just don't- I think they're going to make this a dead end with Dr. Pershing, and that bums me out. That's
I don't think so.
You don't think so?
They keep talking about
Well,
Gideon
they
for a
have
reason.
To, they have to explain
And
why
Gideon's in
they
this
did
I'm
this.
not talking
season.
Gideon. I'm talking Dr. Pershing. I wanted more answers from the guy who was cloning. I thought he was going to get back into it and and find out he's working for Gideon behind the scenes. And I thought that's kind of where the episode was headed.
Either that or this mind flaying is
That's my
just
fault.
making him super evil because he's not super evil. Maybe they're mind flaying him to like
Do you
be
believe
super
him?
controlled.
I think he was full
Pershing?
of shit. Although he did give up pretty easily every time that he was
Yeah.
confronted.
yeah,
and
in
he was
season
talking about
one
his
when
mom,
he
so-
saves Grogu in season 1. Like,
Yeah, that's true.
don't forget about
I
that.
mean, also, he kept grabbing his ear because
Yeah, what the fuck was that?
that's where Cara Dune shot him. Shot the one guy.
Oh yeah, I guess so.
Shot him right in the face.
I forgot about that.
And
That's some pretty good
Yeah.
connective right there.
Yeah.
That's some continuity.
Because
Look at that.
because I remember after that he went for his ear immediately because the dude's face was right next to his
Yeah,
ear.
so the
When it
blaster
started,
bolt
it
was like
okay. Fuck,
an
that's
inch from
right.
his ear. So he's probably half deaf, honestly.
I did not put that together.
That's some continuity right there.
It is. It was really good continuity.
Yeah,
Kyle,
for
you
sure.
asshole.
Well,
Doug. Eh.
Um,
I don't know, man. I
don't-
don't think he's done, but I think it's going to lean more towards this communications officer. I forget her name, and Gideon now.
I'm ready to see the First Order come, and I think Moff Gideon is going to be involved with the First Order.
Come on.
That's for sure coming right there.
I'm excited to see like them start to rise up, and I thought
Yeah.
that was where we were headed with this.
Maybe that's where she or Bo-Katan was referencing though when all those TIE bombers came. She's like, "This is too big for a warlord.
Maybe it's
Maybe
First
it's the
Order.
First Order."
Maybe it's like their first initial strike.
Yeah.
Hux.
Could be. It would be.
How old is he
It'd
around
be.
now?
What's
His father.
name? Yeah, Brindle.
Armitage is the kid.
Brindle.
Quote kid. So Brindle.
All right. Yeah. Great episode overall. I don't. Do we rate these anymore? I give,
We haven't been, but
I give them like a 7.5, 8 out of 10.
I think
I'm
we
gonna-
rated the first episode.
I'm
we
going
all
to rate
gave
him
it,
at the end of the season.
Like low.
I think for
Okay.
myself.
Yeah,
I think I'm
that's
going to
better.
wait for that.
Yeah. Okay.
I'll give you what K2SO says. It's high.
Very high.
Very high.
Yeah, cool. I liked this one a lot. Thank you guys for listening to this episode. Next episode you will hear is going to be a news episode,
Newsies.
and it's going to be a good time. So thank you guys for listening. We'll see you on the next show. Until then, stay safe. May the Force be with you.
Always good journey into Buite.
Rise, Jedi Knight, Master Yoda. Is this the last episode of Jedi Talk this week?
No. There is another.
This is the way.